Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. I forgot to make game picks. It's usually for Wednesday, but today is Thursday. I gotta make it real fast before I have to get out of here. So it's gonna be a short one like right here. But this is week 9 game picks. Last week I went 9-7 last week. Yeah, 9-7 last week from game picks. So I'm back at the winning record. The week 7 I went 5-10. But overall, I think 11-5 week 1, 11-5 week 2, 12-4 week 3, 9-7 week 4, 9-7 week 5, 9-7 week 6, 5-10 week 7, and then 9-7 week 8. So I've been kind of like barely above water so far on the past 5 or 6 weeks. So we're gonna try to get a perfect one this week. Titans at Steelers today. This will be a live watch party later tonight, 7 o'clock. So I'm gonna start the live watch party. So come in and tune in for that. Steelers versus Titans. I'm picking the Steelers to win this one. They got to bounce back. And they lost to the Jaguars in a game that they could have possibly won, but they fell short. A lot of mishaps, a lot of missed opportunities tonight. I think they get it done. They got Cam Hayward coming back as well, and Matt Canada said he's going to be on the sideline, down there with the players. Maybe that changed some stuff up. I don't know if it's going to change too much up, but hopefully it does. A lot of spark or anything. But the Titans look good though. Will Levis throwing those touchdown passes, 4 touchdown passes. J.J. Hopkins was playing amazing as well. So they got some guys too. Simmons is a very good pass rusher as well. Derrick Henry, of course, it's King Henry. He had like what, 7,000, 8,000 rushing yards over the past 6 years, I think. Past 6 years. So he's been absolutely tearing it up and stuff. So yeah, they're a very good team. They're gonna be a nice showdown. I know the record for the Titans is 3-4, but they had a lot of injuries. Injuries to the quarterback, injuries to different spots. Mike Vrabel's still over there. He's a good coach, so it's gonna be a good battle. It'll come down to the wire. I think the Steelers can win this one, maybe about 3 points or something. Dolphins versus Chiefs in Germany. That's gonna be a good one, but I think the Dolphins are gonna beat the Chiefs. The Dolphins have more firing power, and we've seen the Chiefs last week. When you can get after them a little bit, and the receivers not making plays and stuff. You see Mahomes running from his life. He threw a perfect ball to Sky Moore. Sky Moore just dropped it in the end zone. And other opportunities, missed opportunity after opportunity. They just don't have the right weapons on the outside to get the job done. Last year, their weapons wasn't like the best ever either, but Juju Smith-Schuster still had close to 1,000 yards. He missed a few games. He probably had 1,000 yards. He had like 940 yards last year and 3 touchdowns. And then it was good enough with Travis Kelce production and McCole Harmon, all those guys' production as well. But now, when you kind of don't really have a guy who's not even a good number 2 receiver, or not even a solid number 1 guy, you kind of just got a bunch of guys who may make plays, who may not make plays. I think the Dolphins got more firing power, and I think they'll be able to put up more points than the Chiefs in this one. Vikings versus Falcons. The Vikings traded for Josh Dobbs after the Kirk Cousins injury. Kirk Cousins was balling, man, too. He got his team back to 500, and most of their losses came from like 1-score games. So I don't really look at the Vikings as a bad team. I think the Vikings is a good team, and most of their losses came at 1 score, and it came down to the wire, kind of to the last play. And Kirk Cousins got his team back up there. Jordan Addison, those guys balling out. They got Josh Dobbs now. He's a solid quarterback, former Steeler as well. Steelernation. And Josh Dobbs is playing. He played pretty solid, pretty good with the Cardinals. The Cardinals, I guess, decided they were going to trade him, so they kind of benched him in that one little game right there. I think Josh Dobbs, with the weapons the Vikings have and the defense around them, and then kind of being in winning culture, because they're still in contention to make the playoffs as they 4-4. So they win this game 5-4, and the Lions are still up there in the division, but you never know what could happen. You never know what could happen. The Vikings can stay and be one of the wild card teams, or maybe still compete for the division. They can start going to win streak. But I'm gonna pick the Vikings in this game versus the Falcons. Bears versus Saints. I'm taking the Saints. Rams versus Packers. I'm taking the Packers. Commanders versus Patriots. I'm taking the Commanders in that one. Seahawks versus Ravens. That's gonna be a tough one. I think the Ravens should win this game, but I'm gonna pick the underdog pick. I'm gonna pick the Seahawks to win this game. I think Geno Smith is playing on a high level. We seen what he did last week to the Browns against the Browns defense, who's a very good defense, and then against the Ravens, we're gonna see what happens as well. I think the Ravens should win this, but I'm picking the Seahawks to win this, but like a close one, like maybe by a field goal victory or something. But I think the Seahawks are gonna win this game. Bucks versus Texans. I'm taking the Texans to win that one. Cardinals versus Browns. I'm taking the Browns to win that one. That defense is stifling and tough and gritty and playing like relentlessly. I don't know who the Cardinals quarterback is going to be now. I don't know if Kyler Murray is coming back. I don't know if he's off IR yet or not, but I don't know who the quarterback going to be back there. You're going to have your hands full trying to deal with this Browns pass rush and run defense as well. Colts versus Panthers. I'm taking the Colts to win that. I know the Panthers coming off of a win. They have their first win. Game-winning field goal, but the Colts defense and the Colts weapons are just on a different level, and you can see the Colts talent kind of around it a little bit. Anthony Richardson, when he come back next year, they're going to shine brightly and stuff as well. Gardner Minshew is doing a pretty good job too right now so far, keeping them in a lot of games. And that Browns game they had a few weeks ago, some kind of like crazy calls that kind of like cost them the game a little bit. But I think the Colts this week should win against the Panthers. Then you got the Giants versus the Raiders, which is a weird game. I'm gonna say the Raiders win this one. Against the Giants. Then you have the Cowboys and Eagles, which is my game of the week. I think the Cowboys should win this one. Dak Prescott is 8-2 versus the Eagles. He has won the past 6 straight matchups versus the Eagles. Dak Prescott is playing on a good level when he plays against the Eagles, and the Cowboys are 11-0 in their last 11 games at home. So they're undefeated in their last 11 at home. So it's gonna be a tough one. The Eagles defense is not the same as it once was, but even last year, Dak Prescott went in there and he threw a lot, I think 4 touchdowns to 300+ yards against that defense last year. We're gonna see what happens. Jalen Hurts versus Dak Prescott is gonna be a big time showdown. I'm surprised it's not Sunday Night Football, but it's in the middle slot, 3 o'clock. It's gonna be a nice game, so you gotta tune into that one. I think the Cowboys win this one though. Bills versus Bengals, that's gonna be a tough one too. I'm thinking the Bengals should win this one though. I thought the Bengals are kind of getting their stride a little bit as well. You see Jamar Chase after balling 10 catches for 100 yards last week and a touchdown. And then you see Joe Burrow, the calf injury is finally fully gone. And going out there, you see him running in QB draws and just dismantle the 49ers defense pretty easily. So Joe Burrow is back to being Joey B. So we're going to see what happens this Sunday Night Football in prime time. Him versus Josh Allen, a playoff rematch, because remember the Bengals went into Buffalo and just eliminated them pretty easily. So we're going to see what happens this time. But I'm taking the Bengals. Spend my money on the Bengals for this one. Chargers versus Jets, Monday Night Football game. This is the last game of the week. I'm taking the Jets to win that one. I want the Chargers to win because I'm a big fan of Justin Herbert. But the Chargers sometimes, like in big time games and clutch games, they somehow find a way to just lose it away. And in this defense the Jets have is very stifling defense and get after the quarterback, and they can bring a lot of havoc. Now I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think the Jets may find a way to win. And the Jets are staying afloat. I think they're 4-4 right now, staying afloat. If Aaron Rodgers, the way he's looking, if he's able to come back and be able to get contacted and come back as well. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, if the Jets are in the playoffs, that means the quarterback play pretty good. Sometimes it can be a little mixture of that, but it also can mean a lot of game manager and stuff. But would you rather have Aaron Rodgers or the game manager quarterback just kind of controlling the game, not trying to lose? I think you go with the Aaron Rodgers pick like that, and that'd be a big time story. It'd be a lot of pressure though on him when you come back from that type of injury. So I don't know if you want to do that, but if Aaron Rodgers do find a way to come back, if the Jets stay afloat and stay around the playoff picture, and Aaron Rodgers find a way to come back maybe week 15 or week 16 or something, and find a way to get the Jets in the playoffs, I ain't saying this will happen, but imagine that'd be a big time story. Man gets injured week 1, tears Achilles, come back later in the season and lead the Jets to the Super Bowl to win. That'd be a big time story. I ain't saying it's happening, but that'd be a giant story, and that'd be one of the biggest sports stories ever and the best comeback ever. But that's all I got for this video today, guys. If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.